Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today the topic is to create table in HTML. So let's get started. What are tables? Tables are used for representing data in the form of rows and columns. So in the form of rows and columns, the table is self-explanatory and it helps us to understand the data well. Tables help in reading and understanding of data in an organized format. In HTML, tables are created using the table tag, in which th element defines a table header. Th stands for table header. Tr tag is used to create table rows. Td tag is used to create data cells, that means the column. TD tag is used to create data cells, that means columns in the table. So the main tag is a table tag, which is a container tag. So you need to do a closing for the table tag, followed by the th tag that stands for the table heading. So in our table we have one row which is denoted as a heading. So we come to know what is following inside the columns and the rows. So TR stands for table rows and TD stands for table data cells. The element under TD are regular and left aligned by default. By default, whatever you enter inside the TD tag, it will be starting from the left side of that specific column. Table tag is a container tag. So that states that you need to have a closing tag as well. Let's see a small example to understand how are tables created in HTML. So here I have a small code snippet where I have given h1 as a table header example. So h1 tags for heading tag. I've already created one video on what are heading tags. I'm sharing the link in my description box. Plus the card is appearing on the right hand side corner where you can see what exactly is about h1 tag. So this is a heading tag. So it's just going to give a heading to my page, followed by a table tag. And since, as I said, it's a container tag, you need to close the table tag as well. Then you are starting with the TR tag. So that's a row. A table head is returned inside a TR. So a TR, every tag is a container tag. So you will start a TR tag, you will close a TR tag. Inside TR, you are mentioning TH, that stands for table header. Inside TR, you are writing a TH tag, which is going to represent the table head. Now over here, I have given two table head. That means you are going to get two data, that means two column as a table head. So you are creating the first row of your table where you have two columns as month and customer, and you're closing that TR as well. One row has been done. Now you are starting with the next row where you are having TD as the data, that's your table data, in which you have passed one value, and inside another TD you have passed another value. So it will be adding up to another row with two separate columns, and you are closing the TR. Same is followed in the next, and at the end we are closing the table tag. So mandatory to start a table tag and close a table tag since it's a container tag. Every row as the data is ended, you need to close. Each TD or each THU insert creates one column. Now this code will give me what specific output. Let's see the output. So this was the tag which was the h1 tag. It has come over here as it is. Then I started with the first row. So my first row has been created in which I had passed month and customer. So the month and customer has come in. Then the next row started in which I passed January and 1000. So January and 1000. Second row started, second row, and we had February and 1200. So as per my data entry, each tr tag says a table row has been done. One row has been done, and whatever is the data you mention inside TD, that many columns. The first one that we have is a border attribute. Now in the border, there is a syntax for it. You are starting a table tag, then you are mentioning the attribute border and you are giving a value. Now for the border, the value is a numeric value. It starts with 0 and it can go on till the value that you want. When you put a value 0, it will give you no border because 0 means no border to be displayed. If you give 0 and the table doesn't display any border, the output of that program or that specific code will be like this. You will be getting a row and a column, but you will not get a border surrounding it. You are getting column as name and salary, but you are not getting a border for it. But when you mention the value is equal to 1 or any other number that you wish to, you will be getting separate output based on each value that you put in. So the format is if value is equal to 1 or onwards, the border width keeps increasing. So I have put few example like when you put a border value equal to table border equal to 1. So now you have written what? Table border equal to 1. So this is the output that you have got for table border is equal to 1. When you give table border is equal to 10, this is the output that you're getting. Now when you increase the table border to 20, this is how the output looks. So what you can see the difference is the width of the border is keep on increasing. So as much as it increases, the shape and the look of the table keeps changing. From the normal table view to the higher pixel values, it is changing like a 3D view. So this is the use of a border attribute. The next attribute is cell padding and cell spacing attribute. Cell padding and cell spacing. It is used to adjust the white space in your table. The cell spacing attributes define space between table cells. The cell padding represents the distance between cell border and the content within the cell. Cell spacing is talking about the space between the table cells. That means each column space is what it is talking about. But cell padding means the distance between the cell border. That means a column here they are talking about each cell and the space in between. That's why it is called as cell spacing. Here they are talking about the cell and the text which is in. So how much distance it should be from the border. So that is what is called as distance between cell border and the content within a cell. Syntax is you write table border is equal to 1, cell padding is equal to 5 and cell spacing is equal to 5. Now this is also a numeric value. Either you can put a pixel value or a percentage value. So based on that your data will keep on changing. There is no specific that you can give only these many numbers. Depending on your choice, you can give as many numbers as possible depending on your screen. So cell padding and cell spacing can be given any numeric value. So when you give a cell padding and a cell spacing, this is how the output is. So this is the border. You can see there's a space that has come over here in between. This is talking about cell spacing. Cell spacing means space between both the columns or the multiples of columns that you put in, there will be space even in the column format and even in the row format. When you come to cell padding, it is the distance between this. So between the text and the cell, how much is the distance that is? Since this name is a smaller value, it is displaying more distance. While for the others, you can see the data is same. Otherwise, we had seen that it starts with the left hand position to the cell. So right now, it has been taking a cell padding of 5. The next attribute that we have is Colspan and Rowspan attribute. Now, when we talk about spanning, it is about merging of rows and merging of columns. So in our Word file also we have a format called as merge. You select the rows, how many you want, and you click on merge. It will combine those rows as one. So that's what is the work of Colspan and Rowspan. Colspan attributes help in merging two or more columns into a single column. Same as the work of rowspan. It will be merging two or more rows into a single row. So here it's a column, here it's a row. So columns and row is what is depicted as colspan and rowspan. So the syntax for it to write is TD because TD is where comes as the column for you. TD is where you enter the data. So that's why you need to use TD. That's called as table data. So TD Colspan is equal to 2 or TD Rowspan is equal to 2. You cannot use both together in one specific TD. Either it will be a Colspan or either it will be a Rowspan because you can merge it row wise or you can merge it column wise. So specific to that you will be mentioning, but you cannot write TD Colspan equal to 2 space Rowspan equal to 2. That's not going to happen. Only one of the thing can work. So that's why I have mentioned or. So when I say Colspan equal to 2, that means I have to merge these two columns together. And when I say row span, that means I have to merge these two rows together. So that's why we write row span and col span. An example for it is shown over here. You have column 1, column 2, column 3. Over here you can see row 1, cell 1, row span where it has merged two rows. So I have used row span. This is column span where it has merged three columns together. So I'll be giving col span. So since I have merged here two rows, my value will be row span equal to 2. And here I have merged three columns. So my column span is equal to 3. The next attribute is height and width attribute. Now for a table, you can give a height and a width. It will be appended onto the columns as well. So table width and height can be set using width and height attributes. Table width or height value is given in terms of pixels or in percentage. Same is what we have followed for all the other values as well, either in pixels or in percentage. The syntax is table border is equal to 1, width is equal to 300 and height is equal to 150. So we can understand the height and width only when the table border is there. Then only we can come to know the visibility. That's why we have to write the border attribute followed by the width and the height. This is how the output looks. So you can see the height and the width is expanded based on the value which has been given. So it is taking the pixel of your screen. So width of your table will be extended to 300 pixel and your height will be 150. So that is how it has been represented. We have is a table header, body and a footer. So we know in all our documents we have a header and we have a footer. Header talks about more about the page. Footer talks about the ending of the page. And in between is the content that is called as a body of the page. So in HTML also we have a format which is called as table header, which is represented as T head, table footer which is represented as T foot and table body which is represented as T body. But these all three will be coming inside the table tag to tell us how is a table bifurcated into. So tables are divided into three portions: header, body and a foot. The three elements for separating the head, body and foot of a table are th to create a table header, tbody to indicate the main body of the table, tfoot to create a separate table footer. Most important thing, a table may contain several t-body elements, but it is notable that t-head and t-foot tag should appear before the t-body. The format the if you write it in that format, the output of that will be something like this. where you have the first row depicting as T head, the last as the T foot, and in between in the body will be like a cell. So this will be head, foot, cells of your table. That's all in this video about table tags and its attribute. A demo of all these tags with their attributes will be coming up in my next video. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked my video. If you liked my video, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.